Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we are currently going to have a faction rebelling soon. Oh, that was a nice quick update. Okay, cool. So we've got this independence faction, we've also got peasant rabble here. I don't think we'll have too much behind it, but we'll just let that tick on forward, and we'll handle this independence faction when it fires. The King of Aquitaine, huh? Okay. So he's the current leader of the faction, and that definitely means that we're going to deal with him. I think we'll raise up down over here, though, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. So, sure, we'll gain some dread here. Sounds good. We'll drop our rally point here, and we'll siege our way up there. Normally, I would drop right on the kingdom capital, with the idea being that we capture their leader. It's not a guarantee. And it's backfired on us recently, where we've had huge amounts of attrition to get out of there, and we have to, like, siege our way back this way. It wouldn't take very long to do, but I think this is a slightly safer place to spawn our army. Not to say that I think this is a dangerous faction. It's actually not. We're not going to have any significant issues with this, I don't think. But we'll let this tick on forward. We could certainly spend down our gold a bit. And that's not a terrible concept. Do we have anything that directly needs upgrades that we hold? Yes, actually. So that's fantastic. We'll continue to spend our gold. Not like that'll be very hard to do. And our gold is gone. Okay, wonderful. So now we're just waiting on this faction. And we'll see when that actually ends up firing. 2 months, allegedly. But it could be a little longer than that. 1 month now, and let's raise up our men-at-arms here and our levy troops. We'll get raising, and we'll see when this guy actually chooses to fire. Too weak to send an ultimatum now? They're not, though. This just dropped down to 50%. Okay, I guess we're not going to have factionalism then. Someone must have left this faction. I wasn't paying attention to that, but someone must have. I was not expecting that to happen. I was expecting to have to fight this. Okay, so with that in mind, the question now has to be asked, what's the plan now? Because that was the plan. We could maybe go after Sicily. I'd like to get Italy fully under our control. Do we have anybody here that would come to our court? Probably not, is the answer. No. Okay. What about in Nubia? Africa being fully under our control would be nice as well. No? In that case, it's probably going after Resurgence, right? I just wanted to double check these locations and see what we had available there, which is nothing. So it would be this holy war for Resurgence at this point then. So that's okay. We can definitely declare this war. And we'll drop our rally point down here and hope that that faction doesn't recur on us. That would be mildly awkward at this moment if it did. But we're going to assume for the time being that it's not going to. Okay, so we need our men-at-arms to arrive. That's going to be in about 30 days. And this is going to give us a good chunk of the Arabian Empire. I don't think it's going to give us by any means all of it. Okay, there's the men-at-arms. So we'll stop gathering and we'll split off some bombards and some levy troops as usual. Somewhere around 40k is probably more than sufficient. Is this their full army? That's something we should probably check. Essentially. This is essentially their full army. Not quite entirely, but very, very close. Here's the rest of it. Okay, and honestly, we're going to head on down like this. And these guys, if we catch them, they'll end up defeating that force. So that's not a problem. Wonderful. Just an accident, huh? Okay, somebody almost killed us, but it would have been an accident. That's fine. I mean, it's not fine. We wouldn't necessarily want to die right now. After this war is over, it becomes a much more acceptable time to die. Yeah, we would be okay with that. It wouldn't be ideal, but it would be fine. So we're going to eliminate this force here. And this should end up ending the war. Okay, either the battle or this siege, whichever ends up happening first. Which, okay, the siege. Fantastic. We'll enforce those demands and disband our troops. This kingdom, of course, needs to be granted out, so it's not actually created at this point. And we're going to grant that to this guy, and we'll make you be the king of Yemen. Perfect. So that is absolutely fine. At this point, we want to look at the Arabian Empire, right? We're lacking 12 counties. That's a mildly awkward number of counties. What is the kingdom up here? Homs and Syria. Okay. We might be able to do something here, potentially. We do need to eliminate this county, right? We want this guy to become our vassal. He is ours de jure, so we can just do a de jure claim here. We can raise up our men-at-arms. I'm going to greedy raise this. I feel like it's probably fine. Yeah, I don't think he's going to come in and attack us here. So this war's over. Sure, showing King Nuwin. That'll be fine. We do need a learning perk. Let's take clerical justifications, I guess. That'll be fine. And then we have the question of Fatimid, right? At this point, we have to decide, do we want to struggle clash this? Do we want to try to get a claimant? Getting a claimant would be best. Actually, minus 45 reasons. That wouldn't quite be enough. 45 as well here. Okay, so they're grouped up here. They've got about 14k. We've not raised yet. If he's smart, he should have stack wiped this greedy raise, but he did not. So that's okay. No problem whatsoever there. This war is over, so that's completely fine. There we go. War is indeed over, as expected, and we'll disband our troops. Next, we need to look at... Yeah, that's all part of the Persian Empire as of right now. So we need to be looking at this up over here, really. Struggle clash would be... The Sirhan is not part of this. 1, 2, 3, 4 counties is what we would end up getting out of that. And we currently need 11 counties. So Fatimid would probably be the way to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we actually have to do both. Okay. Noted. I want to take a look at the kingdom titles over here. So the kingdom title of Homs. Let's take a look at what claimants there are for this. 35 reasons for this guy. 35 opinion. I don't think this quite gets us there, but I'll try it. No. Okay. What else do we have? Absolutely nothing. We can work on swaying this guy. That might actually do the trick. Now, as far as the Kingdom of Syria goes, what do we have available here? So there's this guy with 20 reasons. This is the same guy. Okay. Noted. So we'll just work on swaying him while we attack Fatimid. I think that'll be fine. So we would love to Holy War for Kingdom. That's obviously not an option. We're going to instead struggle clash here. So that'll get us a bunch of counties. It is pretty expensive, but let's do this. They've got about 21,000 troops. Okay, that's not a lot. And we will raise our men-at-arms up over here. We'll raise a few levy troops. We're not going to need more than 40k. So we'll just let those gather on up. 5k. This is slowed down a fair amount. Okay. Yeah, they're already sieging us up over here. That's to be expected. No shockers there. So we're at about 12k, 20k. Now we're speeding up. Fantastic. I'm going to call 32k good enough. We're going to get these guys on in. And let's head on up over here. Just make sure that ticking war score isn't a thing. The noblest of the Catholics just had a succession. So we should make sure that we have a successor there if possible. Mayor Lewis, skill 15. Okay. Mayor Lewis. So we'll force him to be a knight. And there we go. Now the question is, what do we have for noblest of the Catholics? Araman, skill 12. Okay. So that would be this guy right here. Wonderful. We actually have a successor for all of our accolades. That is remarkable. I like it. So that's absolutely great. What are we at for our Dynasty Legacy here? If we go into our legacies, we know that we just finished out Warfare, right? I'm wondering what we would need to get an additional knight, because we're at 4 out of 5 right now. Would that be under Coterie? I don't think so. Field of the Cloth of Gold. This is kind of knight adjacent. We might end up needing a cultural trait for that. I don't know. We'll see. Number of knights +1. Accolades available +1. Okay, so it's under glory. Gotcha. Renowned name would be what we'd be going for. Okay, sure. That seems fine. Yeah, we could definitely do that. So they sieged Alexandria. That's okay. We're just going to siege our way up through here. We should probably split out our force and go fight them, though. That would definitely be the smart thing to do here. So let's split off somewhere around 20-ish K. Yeah, this will do. And then we're going to make our way on up over here. We need a siege commander here, and we are going to siege over this way. Looks good. So ticking war score is not going to be on anyone's side for the time being. We're just going to come up here and eliminate these. This is already over. These sieges go very quickly out over here at this point. No doubt about that. So now we're going to head up over to Ma'an. That'll be fine. We gained some learning lifestyle experience. I like it. Once again, they have their siege weapons over here, don't they? 180 and 160. Yes. I don't know why the AI is doing this. Paradox should fix that one. Hopefully in the next patch. Tilting at giants, indeed. We'll brook no fairy tales in our court. Okay, so we're going to probably stack wipe this here. Yeah, that's definitely stack wiped. And we'll start slow sieging these on back. We're at 88% war score right now. 18% from these. Okay, so now we're at 99% war score. This is super over. And we'll just get this siege done. Phenomenal. War is done. So we'll enforce those demands and disband these troops. And, of course, we're going to have to hand out some titles here. So, first things first. What is this, a duchy title? I feel like these actually just go into the King of Egypt. We'll just grant all of these over to the King of Egypt, and that'll be fine. So that puts us at 15 out of 13. Where did we gain an extra title at? Actually, 2 extra titles. We should not be at 15 here. County of Tajura? Oh, down here! Okay, I did not realize we were grabbing this, but that makes sense that that would be struggle clashed, since we do have a border there. Yeah, sounds good. So with that in mind, now we can look at the Arabian Empire here and see we need 2 counties. Just 2 to get the Arabian Empire. So that would basically mean a struggle clash here. And so we shall. So we'll get that going. We'll drop a rally point down this way. We'll get our men-at-arms. We'll get some levy troops, and that'll all be fine. We should, however, be working on building up our piety. Can we go on a pilgrimage, like, right now? Actually, we can. And we should. We're going to go on a pious pilgrimage. Probably to the Vatican? Yeah, I think the Vatican is what we'll do. There we go. We don't need to do any redirection here. Do we need the experienced captains? Yes, we do. Okay, so that is not shocking. Let's move this up to high fidelity and high pomp, with our intent being altruism. We'll confirm that, and we'll set off on our pilgrimage. Excellent. We can't wait. So that's going to build up a decent amount of piety. We're building this up for fighting the HRE later on. That's the idea here. So, how much are we going to actually need for this war? 30,000? Sure. Nothing too bad here. A prowess challenge? We don't have time for this. We'll rest and let him recover fully. It'll be fine. We are, after all, going for altruism here. Okay, so we have about 40,000 here. Do we need a court physician? No, we're just going to throw this guy out. That'll be fine. So we're going to head over into Sirhan. And yes, I see them up over here. We visited the capital of the Empire of Hispania. That is not the capital of the Empire of Hispania. I just want to throw that out there. The capital of the Empire of Hispania is where we started. Sure. Whatever. We could distribute blessed coins. That'll gain us 100 piety. I like it. 900 gold is worth it for now. So we're moving in over this way. We want to group these guys together and split off our siege force as usual. Not armored horsemen. You're not coming with us. Okay, so about 20k here should be sufficient, I think. We're going to go stack wipe their army up here is the idea, so that should be reasonably fine. We'll put in this guy as our siege commander. Everything will be all right. Just hold on. Okay, so that brought up our piety a little bit anyway. So that'll be great. Also, I'd like to point out, almost all of the holy sites are now under our control. So if we look at the faith here, we can see we've got the Vatican, we've got Santiago, we've got Jerusalem, we've got Canterbury. I don't think we have Cologne yet. No, we don't. So that's probably going to be our ultimate goal, is to just have all of the Christian holy sites before the end of the game. I think that's a reasonable goal for right now. Definitely an achievable one. It'll require a little bit of focus to push through the HRE, but I think it's worthwhile. So we're going to win this fight, and we actually stack wiped them, as expected. So that is great. We're going to siege back these locations over here. This faction is noted. We'll take a look at it after the war. It's almost done here. We've walked the holy path, and we have arrived at Rome. Phenomenal. So we have an available perk here. We'll grab Church and State to boost up our Realm Priest opinion. That's actually pretty good. We're at 92% war score right now. A true relic, huh? It must be mine. We're now the owner of the Crown of Thorns. Maybe. It's probably a fake. But we are technically the owner of a Crown of Thorns. At least. So there's that. We are going to enforce these demands and disband our troops. Cool. Do we want to just give this over to Jerusalem here? I don't know. I feel like recent events have proven that this is going to be potentially problematic in a few thousand years. Not a few thousand, like under 1,000 years. But it is a possibility. I think that we should probably... we'll just grant this out. It's not de jure. We're not having significant vassal count issues at this moment, and even if we did, we'd be able to move a lot of vassals. I'm not concerned about vassals at this moment. Speaking of vassals to be concerned about, what do we have going on in this faction? Peasant rabble. Okay. Sure, whatever. I don't care about peasant rabble. So, Sicily. Interesting. They just had a succession. Sure, we'll increase our learning. Maybe. I'm not sure if it worked. It did! Fantastic. So our pilgrimage does become more pious there. That's great. We're going to be done with the pilgrimage soon. We are at about 4,000 piety right now. Our pilgrimage would become even more pious? Do it. I don't think we make level 2, though. No. That's fine. This ransom is acceptable. No problem here. And it has been an honor. We'll begin our journey back home. So we're now at 4,956 piety. We definitely could use more. No doubt about that. This ransom is also acceptable. We can usurp the Duchy of Damascus, and we can also appoint a successor to the Silver Pilgrim at this point. Okay, we'll have to seek a worthy successor. That's fine for now. These guys have definitely leveled up a little bit. That's good. I would love to go after Sicily. We'll have to wait to do anything until we return home. So we're on the way now. That's all looking good. This prisoner is fine. Yep. Yep. No problem here and no problem here. Fantastic. Cool. So we've got about 21,000 gold. We should definitely think about spending that gold, which we are going to do. A lot of these castles are maxed out, but we have a lot of other locations that we can grab additional investment into. So that seems absolutely fine. What do we have going on over here? Yeah, that looks good too. Fantastic. I'm actually surprised we haven't run out of gold yet, but now we have. There we go. And back home we go. This ransom is acceptable. And this ransom is as well. And there we have arrived home. It is good to be home. Excellent. So now that we've arrived home, the question is, what are we going to do as far as war declarations go? So I would like to take over the remnants of Africa down here. How much of that is Coptic? Most of it. So that'll make things slightly complicated for us. I'd like to take over Sicily. We also need to be pushing through the HRE. So, okay. This is not actually a useful claim for us. I mean, it's nice. But this guy would become independent. He is also the king of Jerusalem, which would be very problematic for us. So instead of that, we're probably just going to press... This is interesting. 3 duchies here. That's significant. I wish we could press this claim. This would just be these duchies. These are different duchies, correct? Correct. This guy's 54, and this guy is 46. So we would want to press this guy's claims first. Okay. Well, we can definitely start carving into the HRE here a bit. This is going to make some awkward exclaves and border gore, but I think it's okay. We'll declare this war. Yes, I know that we can't afford it. That's fine. We're also going to raise up our forces. I want to start up a tournament fairly soon to deal with our lack of prestige. But for right now, this will have to do. We'll just let our cash accumulate up a bit. So how much do they have? 80k? Sure. Not a problem there. So we've got enough at this point. Let's go to 140. Cool. And in we go. I wonder where they're going to pop up. Up over here, maybe? That's about where I would. I wouldn't want to fight this force. So, yeah, that's probably what I would end up doing. We're just going to siege our way up through here. Once we have about 5,000 gold... Ah, Silver Pilgrim. Excellent. Okay. 60% chance of surviving here. And we died. We choked on our food at 28. Well, that is incredibly unfortunate. That is really, really, really bad luck to die at 28 of just an accident like that. Yikes. Okay, well, we'll get a spy master here. Let's get this kid. He's already decently intelligent. He's on an intrigue focus. Let's swap him over to a learning focus. And we're going to need to send him to university. We're negative on our cash right now. Okay. So we're going to need to get out of this war as soon as we can, right? That was really awkward timing. Really, really, really awkward timing. Now, we do know that the Silver Pilgrim needs a successor. That is Aldo Brandino, skill 12. Where are you? This guy. Okay. And then we needed one for Noblest of the Catholics. Mayor Fernando, skill 11. Okay. Where are you at, Fernando? Here you are. And let's get you put in there. Cool. So we do need to exit this war. No doubt about that. So we're sieging up through this pass, with the idea being we need to get out of this ASAP, because this is going to be a significant problem. I don't suppose we can just negotiate with any of these. Probably not. Okay. So the King of France, what do we got available here? Very, very, very little. We'll send him a gift. That'll boost his opinion up to be at least positive of us. but he's still interested in doing this. That's 7 months away. So we'll see what our options are for dealing with that. Okay. And unfortunately, we do lose all that piety that we were building up. Man, that is just awful. Well, what can we do about the Queen of Burgundy? Actually, potentially things. We have a sister here. So that looks good. Okay, peasants? No, get out of here. So peasants are firing now. This is very ambitious. Okay, we're going to drop a rally point over here. We're going to raise some troops. And we're going to go in over this way as soon as those are raised. I want to check in on this status up here. Yep, we've got a ways to go. Okay. This should be sufficient to win this battle. So in we go. And that is indeed done. We finished our siege in Innsbruck, and at this point we want to be heading this direction to grab this area, right? We're at 50% war score. That'll be fine. This war is over, so we'll enforce those demands, and we'll get rid of this. It'll take up to 9 months to return home. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so this independence faction is 4 months away. What can we do about it? The King of France has very few options at this point for us. You're unmarried, but you're also a hostage. So that wouldn't work. We'll have to go for, like, England here. Let's see. What do we have for siblings? None of these are in our court. And they're all currently betrothed. Okay, that makes things awkward. Are we betrothed? We are not betrothed. Okay. That is some really awkward succession. No doubt about that. Only sons? Okay. Yeah, we're probably just going to have to fight it. That's rough. No doubt about it. We're just going to siege our way through here. We're at 68% war score right now. We need to get out of this war as soon as possible, right? That needs to be top priority here. So we're just sieging our way up this direction to be able to come fight them, I think. We're 83, actually. Hang on, 95? Okay, it's just over. Beautiful. So we enforce those demands and disband our troops. However, this is going to be awkward for us because now we have this faction. Maybe it goes the way that the faction we were planning to fight today goes, but I don't know about that. And this faction will likely be behind it. Okay. We'll have to see what we can do about this situation. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.